I think I left off on the Jeff Franklin fight.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we were talking about the Jeff Franklin.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you were asking me if he'd ever, send me anything. I told that he sent me a letter and just, apologize and all that.
Yeah.
I left that all behind, I let it go, but I did hold on to that for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you feel after?
You got me recording it or writing or something?
Yeah, I'm recording it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah, of course. No, it's just, believe it or not, many times I've done interviews, man, and like when we're about to finish or after we finish, like they realize like they have batteries or something happened. Like, oh man,
yeah. It happens.
And this is, yeah. So that's
yeah. And I watched something on you today too. I watched something that they did in England. I don't know if you had like a sit down interview that British people did.
Uh-huh.
That was pretty.
Yeah, I was there. I don't know, about a year ago.
Yeah, they treat you good there?
Yeah, it was great. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of fans through. Great to say that all over the world. So it's nice to get especially with that internet, it helps a lot. I'd rather check it out on the internet than getting letters.
Yeah. I checked your site out too last night. I saw you were standing next to Jay Hernandez. Is it Jay Hernandez?
Yeah.
He looks just like
Jay
you.
Hernandez.
I didn't even think of it, but
Sorry?
He looks just like you. Is he gonna play you?
Well, he was playing me in a movie that they were making by myself. Yeah. But then after a few years, it turned out that the guy that was doing the movie turned out to be fake. But after a while, Jay Hernandez, I even trained with him a bit, because he was going to play me.
That's cool, man.
So now, everything fell apart, though, after years of working for that, for that movie, and just things happen, especially here in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it'll eventually get done. My wife's been working on it for many years.
Yeah.
They just.
How about raising money through Carlos Slim? You were talking about Carlos Slim. I bet he'd fund that movie.
Yeah, but I know it's not just. I don't know him that well. It's just like I said, like I told you, I didn't even know who the guy was when I got the invitation until my wife told me who he was. But
as a fan,
I really, you can be the richest. I could care less really if I don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you can have $1 billion or nothing at all, and doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean. It's no different,
So you didn't like him when you were with him? Or he wasn't that cool?
No, of course. No, he was nice and everything, but I'm just saying I didn't know him in that way, like where I would ask someone just to do that, like, nah, and I don't, I know a lot of people, and I still don't, I don't really go out there and, I guess, use my name like maybe I should. Like a lot of times my wife would tell me, you should use your name to this, to that, and the only way, the only I guess way now that I am using my name is really to go out there and preach. But which is something that I never in a million years that I'd be doing. Not that I'm preaching, but I guess that's what you might call it when you see my latest posts that I post about the Bible and all that stuff. So, it's what really helped me find myself. So, either people that don't like it, they don't have to be it or anything like that. So, I just put my opinions and what I like reading. So that's why I love the internet. It's like if I don't like something, I just delete it. That's it. I have that power. I don't have to. People can write whatever the comment. Like I said, if I don't like a comment, I just delete it. That's it. Or I delete a person.
That's how you can do.
Yeah.
Control your environment.
Yes, and that way I am using my name to get out there, and I don't know, I felt the calling, so that's what I'm doing, man, and because of that, like I was telling you, I have no money, no nothing, but yet I'm happier than when I was world champion. If you can believe that,
I can.
You can believe that,
Money can't buy happiness.
No, not at all. And especially, you know what? I'm someone that really got into boxing because really I was someone that grew up feeling like I was good for nothing, and that's the only thing that made me feel good. Good for something. When I started fighting the amateurs and started seeing people applauding and something, I wasn't used to seeing something positive, positive responses from people or from my parents or from my family.
Mm-hmm.
I was, you know, I was always thinking like you know, the bad person, the bad dude, and I thought, okay, that was fine. I thought that was like sort of like my childhood from since I was born. I always felt like that. So I thought, okay, well, it's cool. Then that's who I am. That's who I am. But you know, like I said, I learned a big lesson.
I have more fun talking to you about your life than about your boxing. You're like, good guy, man. I knew you were a good guy, but you're an even better guy than I thought you were.
Thanks. Well, you know, I mean, remember, you know, there's always, you know, every book has two sides. You know, I mean, it's just like you know, I mean, I've had my, you know, my other side, but it's normal. I mean, you know, I'm only human.
Mm.
You know,
yeah.
I'm only human. You know, I mean, just because I'm a boxer, I was a world champion, or I was someone that people looked up to, I'm just as normal as anybody, you know, and I should be able to do as anyone does. It's just that because when we reach to a certain height in profession or sports, you know, sometimes we're held up to a certain standard, you know.
Yeah. But you could say that you're a different guy, you know. Most fighters aren't nice people like you. You would feel things that you could just feel like the kind of person you are, you know.
Thank you.
Like the way the Jimmy Garcia thing affected you. Most people, I mean, a lot of people would be affected by it, but you could just see that it changed. It's something you really were sorry about, you know, even though it's not your fault, you know.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. You know, it's sort of, you know, what you're saying is similar to what my wife always told me. You know, she says, Gabriel, that's why, you know, just the way you took it, just the way, you know, there's many people that obviously the strategies in boxing, but your story was different. It was first, you know, because of the way you took it. You know, because the way it affected you, yeah, a lot of people. That's why, you know, a lot of people really listen there. It's out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it was on the news, it was on the magazines all over, it was all over. I mean, you know, that's why, you know, that's what called attention because of the way you took it.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's who I am.
Yeah. Like,
but, you know, like I was saying, that's probably, you know, I'm probably the worst. This probably the worst sport that I could have taken for the kind of person that I am, but yet, like I said, this is the sport that made me, the only thing that made me feel good at something and happy doing it. But yet, you know, I didn't want to hurt someone. I didn't want, and I was in the sport where you have to hurt someone, you know. Many times when I would be fighting, I think, I don't know, like I've already said this, but like when I would fight, I'd rather fight go to distance than get a knockout, you know. And my trainer would get so mad. He's like, hey, what are you doing? You know, he could tell, he could see that I could take the guy out. He said, he's just standing around. I'm like, oh, he can't touch me. You know, I just, like, man, he just, you know, it's not good, you know. One punch can change everything. But I was just confident with my ability. And, you know, like I said, I was very fortunate that, you know, I didn't get my nose broken, I didn't get any cuts or anything, but, you know, that's the unfortunate thing that after doing it so many years now, you know, just my mental issues that I'm going through, but, you know, there'll be plenty of interviews or you know, letters or something because I've done so many. So after I'm gone, that you know, that I can be, if I'm not gone, that I can read and just about myself and remember who I was, because sometimes, you know, I have so much stuff like magazines and paper clippings, newspapers, and I just have them in boxes really because of my wife. She's the one that saved them all. Had it been me, I would have thrown them away. But now I'm so glad that she did it because now I look at him and I'm like, wow, it's like, I wasn't that, I did that. Most of my fights, I never really watched them on TV or anything like that after the fights.
Man.
Now, I would tell you the truth, I don't know, I don't remember the last time I watched like a whole fight of myself. But just when I see some clippings or something, I'm like, wow, that was me. I was in that. I was, like, not too long ago, my wife, I went through some magazines and went through like some old People magazines, and I think I was going to throw it away or something. And she said, no, leave that here. I'm like, oh, it's trash. She says, no, you're in it. I'm like, what? And then, I'm flipping through the pages. And sure enough, I see myself there like, oh, I forgot. It's just so many things I forgot. And it's normal, but in my situation, I think it has to do with me being in the sport for so many years, and that it takes sooner or later it takes a toll. And like I said, every person is different, and it affects everyone differently. I could have been undefeated my whole life, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't catch up to you physically, after years or wear and tear.
That's true. That's true, Gabe.
Yeah.
So how did you feel, like, when you were trying to get over the Jimmy Garcia thing? Did you feel like you were able to do it, or you were never able to have a decent fight after that again without thinking about it?
Well, I didn't. I just started. I didn't think about it psychologically, but really because going to the gym and working out, I felt good physically. I thought that once I got in one of the fight we start, like the first one, I thought that I'd be able to put everything out of my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I figured that during training for the fights, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of Jimmy Garcia. I didn't think of the incident. Mm-hmm. But sparring is very different than fight. Yeah. Very different. So I just, but I don't know. Something maybe deeply inside of me told me that, part of me died that day that Jimmy Garcia died, because it so affected me because, like I said before, I'm probably one of the worst people in this world that this could have happened to, because of the relationship of how I love my mom. We all love our moms, but just the way I grew up, the way I have that relationship with my mom. It's like like my brother told me, even though him and I were 10 months apart, Rafael, he'd always tell me, he's like, Gabriel, like during that time that Jimmy Garcia was in the hospital, he's like, look, it's okay to feel bad about it for a while, but then you got to get over it, He was just like pretty normal. Like most of the people would tell me, hey, you got to go on, part of life, that this could happen to you. So that's pretty, like, sort of like sounding so normal, like, but it didn't sound normal to me. I thought, okay, fine. I try to hold on to those words, like what my brother would say, or other people would tell me, just don't think about it. It's normal, you'll get over it. And I held that, for a long time, for a lot of years, and like I said, but fortunately, thank God, thanks to that book, that I found peace. I found peace myself, and
you did a lot to help his mother.
Had it never been for my book, I probably would never found peace with myself. You never know, but I can't.
Yeah, I know.
I can't just think about that anymore. I'm just grateful, and I'm just, I'm trying to I call myself, well, I didn't call myself, but I tell my wife, now I'm like, I feel like a disciple of God now. I'm just, whoever wants to listen to what I have to say, it's cool. I'm just not I'll never be, I don't think I'll never be like those people that are coming knocking on your door and, trying to convert you from, different religions or like, it's like.
Mm-hmm. What religion are you, Gabe? Are you Catholic?
I'm sorry?
Are you Catholic?
I am, yes. I'm Catholic, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm Catholic, but, I just started, like I said, reading the Bible. Like I've always, my family are Catholics, but it's free will. We have, thank God we have free will. Even God gives us free will. Yeah. So, and I don't try to convert anybody. I just, I just want to do what I feel is right,
But you always
because
did,
if not, there's consequences. I'm sorry?
You always did. You tried to do what was right all the time. You helped.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times a lot of times, I'm normal. I'm human, and mistakes. So sometimes we have to make those in order to move ahead, so we can move on forward. Because those are experiences. So So like that's the way to turn, I think, a negative into positive. That you have to go through something negative or something awful in life. So that way, when you go through it again, you'll encounter it, face it in a better way.
Yeah, and life has that. You're guaranteed to go through some kind of. Yeah, you're guaranteed to go through something horrible in life. Everyone's gonna have to. We all have demons we're gonna have to face someday.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's the best way to turn a negative into positive.
That's right.
It's like it is what it is. It is what it is, and you can't change it. So when something has happened, you can think about, gosh, I wish I had done it this way. I wish I had not done that way. But if you really think about it, you can wish it all you want, but you can, next time that happens, you can make it happen. You can make the change, but it's only our choice, our choice.
And it's all you, Gabe. It's your life. That's your life.
Yeah, it's our life. That's our life. That's right.
You gotta be happy with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll talk about your box. I'm not gonna bring up anything bad anymore. I just want you to.
No, don't worry about it, man. Like I said, doesn't matter. Talk about anything.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about the first time you won your NABF title. How did you feel about that when you first won the championship, a championship?
Well, gosh, I fought this guy by the name, I think it was Aaron Lopez from Texas or Houston, somewhere over there. But honestly, it was just a step that I had heard and I had read about, that fighters that they steps that they take to that world title, and I just thought that was going in the right direction once. But again, those kind of title fights, they bring more not just responsibility, but gosh, it's a lot harder mentally, psychologically, because especially when you're coming up in the boxing world, you start gaining all these boxing fans, and it's more like sort of it's pressure, more pressure. Every time you fight for a title, it's a lot more pressure, especially when you're undefeated, or especially when your fights, most of them have been on TV, like mine, where I was getting a lot of press in every one of my fights. So every fight, that's why it only brings more pressure to yourself, and believe me, that's something you can be physically 100% ready, but if psychologically you're not there, you're all good.
Mm-hmm. And you defended your title a few times, and then you fought Azuma Nelson. What do you remember about?
Yeah, then I then I fought Zuma Nelson. I mean, you know, the hardest thing for me at that time, I mean, I really felt I won the fight. I mean, I think they gave it to me by 1 point, and I just, you know, because I had been offered a sign with Duncan before the fight, and I didn't want to sign, and just so many political stuff that had to do with the fights, and it was the first time me fighting in Mexico, even though I was born in Mexico. Most boxing fans, they thought, because I had an American trainer, and I sort of grew up with him, as him being my legal guardian, Joe Gusen. They thought that a lot of Latins also thought that we were born out here in the States. You know, that we were born out here, so it was pressure. It was a lot of pressure. You know.
Yeah. So you felt you beat a Zuma Nelson in the first fight?
Yeah, I mean, I did think I felt I won the fight. And then I looked at it over and over, and I thought, well, you know what? They could have easily given it to him because it was a very close fight. So, you know, when you are the champion, you gotta really go out there and take it for him. And maybe I didn't do that, but you know, I was happy regardless. I was happy regardless because it was my first time fighting over there in a sight, man, that like you probably never see again, you know, in this life. Over 130,000 people, you know. I mean, it was amazing. You know, I've been to some football games where there's so many people, and man, you know, this was in Mexico. There's no comparison in that stadium. You know, probably in a lifetime will never happen again. You know,
that's right.
For that card, so I was happy about that. You know, that people treated me like I won the fight, so you know I didn't feel like a loser. But the best thing that came out in that fight was the experience that I got from that fight. That you know, that made me champion the next time around. You know, and not only with Leja, but better yet, defeating the guy that defeated him. You know, which was, you know, which was Leja.
Yeah, I'll get into that. I remember then a couple fights after Zuma Nelson, you came to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, and you fought a guy named Eduardo Jacques. I had to go see that fight because I had to see you.
Oh shit! I don't remember that name.
You don't remember that fight?
No, I don't. I remember the name. Yeah.
You don't remember being in Mohegan Sun?
No, I do. I do remember being there, but I don't remember the guy.
Okay.
I remember the name, but I don't remember the fight.
I'm happy you came, though. I'm glad you came to Connecticut.
Yeah, you know, we went, especially when we fought sort of places that we had never been to, like there. It was nice to see fans there, so it was pretty, you know, that was great. Like, just like I remember one time when my brother was supposed to fight in Hong Kong, we went over there to Hong Kong, and you know, we saw some boxing fans, some Latins over there, and couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, you know, because we are everywhere, you know.
So usually Mexican fighters don't come here because there's not too many Mexican people here. There's a lot of Puerto Rican people here, but actually we're getting more Mexicans now. So maybe we'll be.
Yeah, it's kind of far over there, but you know, I guess wherever there's work, you know, in that way it's a new reputation to have. You know, we are hard workers.
Yeah, definitely. Keep restaurants going. You do everything, and people want to. What do you think about like the papers, please laws? What do you think about that? I don't even wanna...
You know what? I really don't know. I don't even know what's going on. I don't read. I don't read much about that. I don't get into that stuff because, you know, for one thing, even religion. You know, I started reading the Bible, but it doesn't mean that I'm against other religions. You know, to me, I really believe in God, and that's it. That's why, just political stuff. You know, about all the laws and all that stuff. I'm really to myself because if I really speak out, man, I'm gonna have some people, you know, I don't know, all over my ass. I mean, because I'll speak the truth, my truth. You know, doesn't mean that it has to be true for other people, but so that's why I sort of hold on to it myself, because I don't want it to get out there, even though it is freedom of speech. But a lot of times you can hurt other people, you know, by your words, and so I don't want to say much on that.
Yeah. All right.
You know, I'm just happy that, you know, that I'm in this country. I'm happy that my parents brought me to this country, because, you know, like I said, I've been there a few times back, not just to Mexico, and it's great, all great, but, you know, I can't, not only Mexico, any other part I've been to, after a few days, I can't wait to come back here to California. You know, I'm like, thank God, because it feels like home.
Yeah. See, I'm into boxing, and I'm into politics. That's what I'm into. And my wife has a lot of Mexican friends because she's Colombian, or my ex-wife now. And that's so I hear about it, and it makes me mad too. I don't like it. You know.
Yeah, believe me, my wife, she talks about politics a lot, like with her family. And the minute I hear them talking about it, I just like sort of like turn and go to a different room or something, you know. Or I'll start using the F word a lot, you know. F this, F that, you know, or just that. But you know, one of the things that about talking about politics, I just thought of, you know, because I just became, well, not just, but I've only been a U.S. citizen, gosh, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years. It's one of the things I come from a ranch, a little ranchito that, I don't know, I was very naive, I didn't have much education, like I've said it before. But I didn't think that, you know, out here the politicians really do as they say. You know, maybe some do, maybe some don't. So every time I would get those letters, like to be a juror, like for jury duty, I was like, you know, I was always evading those. You know, I was like, man, for many years I got them, but I didn't find out for years until that I didn't have to go because I was not a U.S. citizen. So I was happy for that. For all those years, I was happy. And then after I became a U.S. citizen, sure enough, like after, I don't know, a few months, I get one. Like, oh. And then this time I couldn't call. I was dialing them, and then as I was dialing the phone to tell them that I was not a U.S. citizen, you know, I thought, oh my God, I am a U.S. citizen. You know, I gotta go. So now, you know, I told my wife, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm just not gonna send it in. You know, I'm not gonna send it in. I'll just say I never got it.
That's what I do.
But sure, you know.
That's what I do.
There's no way. So, you know, she filled it up for me. She sent it, you know. She sent it, and I was like, why did you send it? She's like, because, you know, you're a U.S. citizen, you have to, you know, sometimes you hear about what's going on, and you get mad at the news. And if you want to, you know, a lot of people, they talk, but yet, when it comes to this, you don't want to go, huh? You want to, I'm like, yeah, because it doesn't happen. It's not true. She's like, well, you know what? It's part of your duty that you have to do. You have to, like, well, I could have done without me going there. So, but regardless of that, I go in to be a juror, and I tell you, man, I have such a different perspective. I had no idea that the knowledge that I gained, that I got. I was so happy afterwards, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I was so happy that I went into different courtrooms, that I got to see how the law works, you know. Doesn't mean that all the time it's gonna work, you know, but most of the time it is left to the people. The judge is really there because we appoint him, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, thank God, because I got to see how it all works. I was like, wow, in just one day, but you know, and I just kept throwing my 2 cents in, you know, like the cases that they brought me into to talk about him, and the judge kept asking me like my input, you know, in front of everyone. So I would just say it, and I was like, and they kept calling to different courtrooms. I'm like, oh man, I guess they're gonna pick me, but no, they left me out. So I was like, kind of mad at first. The beginning of the day, I was mad that I was there, and then, you know, at the end of the day, I was mad that they didn't choose me to be one, you know, to be one of the jurors. But so I learned a lot, and I was like, wow. And then from then on, I said, man, I can't wait till the next time they send me another one of these summons. You know, I'm telling you. So that's how life is. That's how life is, man. You know, because you know we talk about politics, we talk about all this stuff that we, you know, that we wish that we would be this way, but yet we have to take it. We have to step it up. You know, and we can't just rely on our thought of it or our decision, because, you know, I mean, obviously it's not just us. Look at people from all over the world. They come here to the United States. They come here. You know, there's many other countries, but yet people leave their own country, like I myself did, to come here. You know, it's not just me. It's people from all over the world. You know, and what's beautiful is that I mean, it's all of us. We all gather around. We all, you know, it's not perfect, but it's better than our country, and that's why obviously we're here. That's why our parents brought us here. You know, I mean, I tell you very easy. Like, you know, had I not come here, I know. Like I said before, I'd be probably 500 pounds. Who knows what I'd be doing? I mean, I know I'd have a bunch of kids, and then be overweight, and just you know, I mean, not that it was bad, it was great, but I didn't know any better. You know, I didn't know any better. I was happy. But you know, when you don't know any better, it's too easy to be happy. You know, which is beautiful. Sometimes, believe me, I do miss it. Sometimes, even now. I mean, you know, I say, gosh, why did I ever leave? But, you know, I'm like, man, I better stop saying that, and I've been saying for years. God has been, you know, He has blessed me so much already, but, you know, that's just me. I'm stubborn, and I'm just, you know, I just like to speak my mind. But, you know, then I look at my kids, I like, well, like I just told them, like, when both of them just, my 15-year-old, he just got a, you know, acceptance letters from university that he applied to, you know. So I was so happy for him. I'm like, you know, first one like in my family to go to something like that. Especially, I feel like, man, this is for me. It's my son. You know, someone like me that I didn't like. I mean, I never liked school, but I didn't like you. I had no education. You know. That's so that all I knew was work. That's it. You know. I mean, to survive. It was sort of I come from a survival of the fittest. You know. It wasn't about, I mean, anything else. Because when there's no education, you have to do what you have to do. That's it. You know.
You're a good preacher. You can preach.
You know.
You really good. You're good, man.
but I'm, you know, like one of my sisters is pretty involved in church, and she's like, you know what? That's Cercola and Gabe Ruelas. You gotta do that, because I'm like, well, maybe that is what my calling is, and I'm just, you know, I mean, I read the Bible every day. You know, I read much, but not just the Bible. I read a lot of everything, not just the Bible. I read, you know, I go get the newspaper. You know, maybe also that could be one of the reasons why but yet I forget it, and then I reread it again, and I'm like, oh man. So I don't know. You know, I'm just, I don't know.
How bad is your memory, Gabe? Do you forget everything, or do you remember most everything?
No, I forget a lot of stuff, man. I forget things like that I did, or like, you know, I mean, just pretty bad, you know. Pretty bad, you know. Like, I'll go turn the water in the kitchen, and then I forget that I left it on. I overflow. I can, you know, sometimes I'll be driving, and I forget where I'm going. I'm like, oh, sure, where am I going? And then I'll call my wife, and I say, hey, where am I going? What was I doing? Wow. So it's, you know, it's getting scary for her to, you know, she's like, oh my God. So I'm having a lot of tests done right now. I'm going through a lot of doctor's appointments and all that. And I've been put on some. Gosh, I forget what I'm taking. The medicine that I'm taking to remember things, so I won't be so forgetful. They are helping me a bit, but I think they're helping me more with stress. I used to get very stressed just by not doing anything like I am now. But I guess they are helping because I don't feel as stressed, It can be with anything, I mean, if I can. But, I'm just, one of the things that makes me feel great is reading the Bible, Reading the Bible and just not worrying about things, not just reading about it and somehow, just me praying, not somehow. Now I know it's because of the praying that I've done that whenever I pray for it, I'm going to say miraculously because, things that have happened to me since I started reading the Bible, man, it's just amazing that, it's just great, it's just great.
I never did read the Bible. I never did.
No.
Maybe I should.
Well, I never did. I've had some before, but I really, you have to learn how to read it. Like me, I don't know how to read it, but my sister got me it's called the 1 Year Bible. It's not like the real thing, but it's sort of a smaller version for so you can understand it more for someone that's beginning to learn. So it's easier because it only gives you like 3 or 4 pages like every day. It's called the 1 Year Bible, where like every day you read first and day, So it's just, and then you have your ideas, of course. Then things, you start thinking of things, and like I myself do. So it's cool, and just I've always believed in God, and like I said, I don't care what religion you're from. You can whatever it is. I believe in one God, and that's it. That's it. And there's got to be a God. There's got to be a higher being. For who we are and for what everything is.
It's a mystery. We'll never know. We'll never know till we get there.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. Sometimes I think we were brought here by like aliens or something, and maybe they're the gods. Because they think like heaven's in the sky, I don't know.
Well, like I said, sometimes, sometimes you have to believe in things that you can't just read, or you can't just, but also by reading you get knowledge, and that knowledge, then your inner being will tell you, you'll know in your mind, you'll know it, So, that's why, reading, when you read stories or when you read things, you can sense it, you can feel it. It's the inner being of ourselves telling us something, telling us something that we don't know. And, just experiences, I don't know, I think it's good that we have. And sometimes, we have feelings about things, and then when that happens, you're like, oh, wait a minute, gosh, I had the feeling that this was going to happen, And it's gotta be someone else out there. Life can't be this perfect, life can't be,
It's magical. I think God made the entire universe, and
I think so. I think so, but but like everything, there's there's good, there's evil, It's good, there's evil. So we also gotta believe in that too,
It's out there.
It's a freedom of choice, freedom of choice. I don't think it's like a lot of people say, well, if God knew this, then why did He even brought us if we're going to be killing people? That's why we have to read the Bible, because that's where we get that information. Even though the Bible, I believe, and I'm sure everyone does, that we've read in 5 different generations, but that's normal, because it's just like boxing is going on right now. I'm sure like 50 or 100 years from now, who knows if it'll still be around? Who knows if what it'll be happening? We don't know.
Yeah. You gotta talk to people. Yeah.
We have to go through changes in life, and we have to accept them as they are. But we can't, we can't change life. Man.
That's true. And you're right. It's amazing to hear you talk like this because you're like way ahead of it.
Well, like I said, I've always felt like I'm a lot older than I am, and because again, I thought I was necessities made me grow up fast. I was never really a kid, and now sometimes a lot of times, like my wife tells me, you're just like a little kid, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess so. I admit it. I was never a kid because I couldn't. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time to be a kid.
Yeah. Michael Jackson said that. He never got a chance, so he just stayed a kid forever. It's true. You feel like you missed out on something.
Yeah, but I can't regret it because I look at my kids and I'm so proud of them, and I'm so happy that they didn't become fighters like myself, that they didn't have to do it. Me, I had to do it. I had to do it because. I'm sorry? You
did teach them how to box, all right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I would say something like a boxing gym in my garage. I've taught them, believe me, they know how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that I always told them, you gotta know how to fight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for a boy, being a boy, not only in this country, in any country. I think it's sort of it's good for any kid, any boy, because it's sort of a security blanket for themselves. Who they are, gives them security for themselves, makes them feel good about themselves.
Yeah, to know you can defend someone if you have to, and yourself even.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, nowadays, it's like everyone they have it's not good. I don't encourage it at all, but sometimes you just have to because you have no options. But now with kids carrying guns or knives or whatever, but it's good to have. It never hurts to learn how to defend yourself. So that's why I always told my kids, man, I don't want just some kid beating you up in school or something. If you have a disagreement or something, you just, it's a confidence builder, I think, to know how to fight. It's a big confidence builder, especially when you're a kid. You're with your girlfriend or something. You're just gonna feel better about yourself. Period.
Sure. Yeah. It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Do you ever talk to Joe Goose and stuff?
Oh yeah, I talk to him all the time. Yeah, he just actually called me a couple of days ago. Yeah, he doesn't live far from where he only lives like 30 minutes from where I live. Mm-hmm. And I go to he's sort of kind of retired already.
Is he?
Yeah, he got tired of it, and he sort of gave the boxing gym where we used to train to a guy by the name of Ricky Funes, who is he used to help us out a lot to Joe. A young guy, about 30 years old, and started training kids and started doing what Joe used to do. So.
So why don't you go there and train? That would be good money, and you got a lot to teach people.
No, it's not something that even my kids tell me that maybe I should do that, train people, get a boxing gym or something. But the experiences that I saw that happened to Joe and other trainers, and kind of myself too, it's not worth it, not worth it because I wouldn't do it just for the money, even though, you need money to pay the bills. It's just something that, boxing, I love boxing. And then, boxing, when you're a trainer, you build a relationship, so very familiar relationship with the fighter, with the trainer. And then, it's also a nasty business. Boxing, there's a lot of thieves out there. There's a lot of people, a lot of cruel people. I saw a lot of that really, and I never, I thought I would never want to do this. I would never, you build a relationship with the fighter for training for years. You build them up, and then the time comes to become professional. Someone comes and takes them away. They offer them this, they offer them that, and it's not nice, man. I've been through that, and in the worst thing of it, forget about the money that maybe you invest on that person. Is you lose that friendship, you lose that relationship. Which I had with the few kids that I helped for a few years, and really, I wish them the best, but I've always, I feel bad about it. I guess maybe I'm too sentimental, but reality is that it's only human. It's only human to when you do something wrong, you know it's wrong, you know it's bad, you know it's not good, and you feel bad about it, and like me, I just always kept thinking, gosh, but I wish I knew these kids. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder, in greed, I guess the word greed comes to play. Maybe, and I'm sure not only just in boxing, but in boxing, believe me, happens a lot, and I just want to know part of it, and that's probably why it's one of the reasons that I'm not training people. I mean, I do have like privates. Very few people, but people that are not training to become fighters. People that just want to do it so that they can, as far as exercise-wise, it's great exercise, or to build it's like a self-confidence builder.
Yeah, that's
I want to learn how to fight. So so I do that, and I'll probably, once I get all my problems out of the way that I have, then I'll probably do it more often. But right now, my kids are my priority. Spending time with them before they take off. I take them out of the house. Like I said, my 18-year-old is getting ready to go off to college, and it's a few months. But I'm already telling him, Diego, I said, when are you leaving? He's like, what are you talking about, Dad? I'm like, well, you're getting ready to go to college, so you're not gonna be here, man. So you better get going. He's like, well, you gotta wait. So, and my other one, my younger one, my 13-year-old, I'm like, he's getting ready to go to, he'll be a freshman, in a few months. So, until he just got his acceptance letters from the schools that he wanted to go to, and so I'm so happy, I feel blessed, and that, I'm just gotta keep an eye on him, and before I couldn't do that, things happen for a reason. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna sit there and watch him and try to help them out. And I feel that everything else, like, will just fall into place just like it has, It's just, it was in a different way before, For a while there, I was lost. Like I said, I was out, being an alcoholic for a few years. I killed myself. That didn't help, That didn't help, God told me, like, I'll take you when I want to take you, not when you want to go.
Now, how much would you drink? You went from not drinking at all to drinking like day and night? Or would you just...
I started, what happened is I started working with the company that, I'm just not going to say the name of it, but I started working with the company, not as a salesman, but promoting the product, promoting the product. And, from one drink, I started drinking, and it was purely just hard liquor, hard liquor, not beer. I didn't like beer, I didn't like beer, so it was just tequila, and, and hard liquor. And I was pretty damn good at it, I was good at it, and I just felt that,
Day and night?
I could out anybody. Sorry?
You would do it day and night, like as soon as you woke up?
Yeah.
Wow.
I started from just during the day, then going to night in the morning. And I'm talking about, a lot. Not bragging, but I met a lot of alcoholics. I met a lot of people that could drink, and I outdrink him. And I couldn't believe how I could do that. I was like, wow. So sure enough, before already knew that I was already, so proud of myself that I could do that I could go into a bar and tell guys that felt I could drink, man, I cannot drink yet, and, I thought it was cool,
Yeah.
And I could, but, I was just, unhappy, man, unhappy, and I didn't know what it was, many times I felt that it was the guilt that I felt over Jimmy Garcia. I know that I had to allow with it, or my separation from my wife, me not being with my family. Just, I just made up, especially when I was drinking, I made up, bring up a lot of reasons why I should be drinking, and because me growing up thinking that I was going to die young, I felt that if I made it past 25 years old, it was just like a blessing.
I think you're just competitive in everything. You just want to outdrink everyone, outfight everyone. You just want to beat everyone.
But, I was going out crazy, man. It was just wow. Wow, but even that didn't do it. I'm still here. And,
Good thing you didn't start drinking when you were like 15, 16, like most people do.
Yeah, no, one thing I learned that, when I say you kid, when you start fighting and all that, I was, to fight, you have to pay me money. I don't have things that I learned. You gotta pay me to fight you, And I'm not going to fight because, for one thing, especially when you start fighting, your hands are considered deadly weapons, and then, most of the time you are liable,
Yeah. I saw some on the internet too, when you said you told a guy to call his wife and tell her you're not coming home, and how'd that go? I didn't even.
I'm sorry?
You told a guy, I don't know if you were drinking at the time, if this was the time we were drinking, but a guy started trouble with you somewhere, and you told him that.
Yeah, the guy that told me, he asked me, he asked me, he first said that I look pretty small compared to that way that I looked on TV. And that I look bigger, and I told him that if I was, I told him that if I was up if he was in the ring with me, that I would seem a lot taller than him also. And then he just freaked out at that, and also, that other thing that I wouldn't fight him. There's another situation when I told him that I wouldn't fight him, and I didn't fight for him. I cannot fight unless you pay me money. And I asked the guy, how much money do you have in the bank? He thought I was crazy, and I asked him that. He says, why? I said, well, I want to know if it's worth it for me, man. I'm not just going to fight you, It's pretty funny, though.